Hey, I'm Scott, and I'm an American in Bangkok. I wanted to talk about the taxi situation in Thailand. Lately, it's come to light that the Thai taxis, they don't seem to be getting better. The situation with them doesn't seem to be getting better. It seems to be getting worse. I've had numerous occasions where the drivers have had an attitude. They don't want to pick me up. And it's not just me. It's many other people have complained about this. And then just the other day, a Grab taxi who was, I guess, in Chiang Mai, was threatened by a tuk-tuk driver with two foreigners in the back seat. That's not good. These things are not good. So I was thinking about it, and I thought, well, what would help? What might help? The first thing is that I don't see any problem with people having competition against the regular taxis. So if there's a problem with the Grab taxis, completely legalize it. Give the people the licenses they need to be able to operate as taxis, and make them go through the same process that they would make taxi drivers go through, which right now there is no process. But I think this is one of the problems. I think anybody should not be allowed to drive their clients around. I just think if you're going to be a taxi driver, you need to know, you need to have a knowledge of the city or wherever it is you're driving, whatever city it is. You need to have knowledge of that area. So you should be tested and you should be made to pass. And none of these BS tests where, you know, you pay 20 baht or you pay 50 baht and you're in without testing. None of this. It needs to be strict. Also, the drivers need to be taught what is professional and what is not professional. Some know already. They already know. Hey, you know, if you speak decently with the, you know, you're polite to the customers, they're going to generally be polite back to you. They're going to appreciate you, and maybe they'll even give you a tip. When it comes to, I think there need to be some guidelines for problem fares. That is, you know, drunk passengers with a bad attitude or who don't know where to go or whatever. The drivers need to learn what it is that's going to help to make the situation better. They don't need to be driving people away with their actions. They need customers. And the fact that there's a ton of taxis out there, there's a lot of taxi drivers, they haven't got a clue. I got picked up again by a guy. I told him where to go. Not a word. He didn't give me any confirmation. Didn't say, yes, I know where it is. Didn't say hello. Didn't say Sawadee Krap. Didn't say a word. Then I give him 100 baht. My fare is 43 baht. I gave him 103 baht. He doesn't have any change. This is another thing. They need to understand. Listen, you got to try to have some change. I mean, you know, maybe this is the thing. You know, you start out and you put 1,000 baht in the pot and you got, you know, 5 100s and the rest are in 20s. I mean, if you don't have 1,000 baht, then why are you driving a taxi? I mean, seriously. You don't have 1,000 baht for change? I mean, at least 500 baht. Have something. The guy didn't have any change. So I got to sit there for 10 minutes while he runs around getting change. 100 baht. You should have change for that. I shouldn't have to have the exact change. And while I'm an expat and I know that maybe it helps to have exact change, what about the tourists? What about the people who are just visiting and they need a taxi and it's like, hey, I got 100 baht here. My fare is 60 baht and you don't have 40 baht in change, or my fare is 40 baht and you don't have 60 baht in change. What's the deal with that? You know, I mean, get it together, man. You want to be able to please the passengers. You want the passengers happy. Now, I'm not going to say that all this should come and the driver shouldn't be compensated, because they should be able to make a decent standard of living. So I would suggest that the fares, the minimum fares, are raised, and that they have the opportunity to make more money. And that those people who refuse to pick up fares, maybe they need to work, the system needs to be changed a little bit to where people who come in late are not fined. I don't know what the fine is right now, but they have to pay a fine if they come in late. I mean, listen, if you got a fare and you come in 30 minutes late, I don't know what the answer is, but, you know, fining the driver and making it to where, oh, no, sorry, I can't pick you up now. You either pick the guy up or you don't. You either want to drive him or you don't. People who own their own taxis don't have this problem. They can work 15 minutes past what they wanted to work to, the time that they wanted to work to. But what I would say is give them a better starting, start the meter at a higher fare, pay them more money per kilometer or per however many minutes, whatever it works out to. Make sure that they make a decent standard of living. I mean, you know, they raised the rate from 30 to 35 as the minimum fare before. I would say, you know, like, hey, give them 50. It's 50 baht, but like, make sure that, you know, it's not 50 baht and you go one block. I mean, you know, well, 50 baht, you go like a block, but also 50 baht, like if you go 3 blocks. Don't make it to where it's 35 baht to 50 baht, and you still get this exact same distance. Make it a little bit, make the distance that you're paying 50 baht for just a little bit more, and then raise their per kilometer or per minute rate, so that they make a more fair salary per month. They should be able to make a decent living. Everybody should be able to make a decent living. And I don't really have a problem paying. That's why I take Grab Taxi, because I don't have to deal with any of the nonsense that the drivers sometimes put forth. And the Grab Taxi drivers, the only problem I've ever had with Grab or Uber is them getting to my house. And it's not because of them, it's because of the way that the Google Maps system is set up. But now I rarely have a problem at all with them getting to my house. So once I'm in the car, I almost never have any kind of issue. They know exactly where to go, or I tell them, and boom, it's done. No issues. That's the thing. Why does somebody have to have an issue with a taxi driver here? Thailand is the land of smiles. People are generally very nice and polite. Well, why does a taxi driver think that he can be an asshole and get away with it? This is the other thing. Guys like the guy in Chiang Mai, the tuk-tuk driver in Chiang Mai, who threatened the Grab taxi driver and who basically scared the tourist into saying, hey, let's just walk. Those kind of guys, they don't need to be charged with intimidation and all this stuff. Make sure that if they're, whatever they're charged with, they're thrown in jail. That kind of thing. You're threatening somebody with a pipe, and you're telling him to get out, and you're kicking his car. Throw him in jail. You know, give him probation or something. You know, like you're on probation for a year. You get busted again, buddy, you're going to jail for 3 years. I mean, you know, make it. It shouldn't be like, oh, well, just pay 500 baht or pay 200 baht. That's ridiculous. Make it to where it hurts, and maybe they'll stop, because right now, they're not stopping. They just do whatever they want, and they figure they can get away with it. Which brings me to another point: is if there's any kind of corruption that is preventing people from choosing Grab, which I mean the local politicians, I don't know if there's any of this. If the local politicians are making it difficult for Grab to be able to function, then get rid of the politicians, because there's no place for that here. Yeah, I mean, you can say what you want, but the bottom line is people want to be able to go where they want to go, and they don't want to have to deal with any of this nonsense. And that's what it is. It's complete nonsense. It's gotten out of hand. I talked to many people about this. I've talked to quite a few, and there's a lot of people who are like, well, if I'm on Sukhumvit, I can't even get a taxi. They won't even drive me unless I pay whatever I pay. Listen, you don't want to drive? You don't want to take somebody somewhere? Boom, let's pull your license. Let's make it a crime for you to drive the taxi again. You either pick the person up or you don't. I mean, I know at M. Courtier, and I know from several other people, they're at M. Courtier or they're at Terminal 21. They go out, they go to get their taxi, and the taxi driver just goes, no, I don't want to take you. The other day, I came out to the front of the mall, and the driver opened up the window. Now there's a queue. I'm waiting in line, and I get ready to get in the taxi. The door's locked. He opens the window and goes, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going to Happy Land. It's basically it's 5 minutes away." "No, I don't want to take you." And he drove off. "No, I don't want to take you." And the guy who works at the mall is just shaking his head. The next guy, he opened the window too, and I unlocked it. I basically opened the door, got in, and I didn't tell him where I was going. It's like, you don't have a choice, man. It's the law here. Unless it's not the law, then you shouldn't be able to decide, oh, well, I'm going to pick this guy up. I'm not going to pick that guy up. Then I read about this woman, Thai lady, who she got into a taxi. She started driving off, and the driver said, "I already have an appointment with a fare, and it's 1,000 baht for the fare, so you need to get out." And it was raining, and she didn't have an umbrella, and she's like, "Hey, what is this? What did you pick me up for?" And he basically said, "Get out." That kind of stuff, they need to be punished. And I mean punished like, listen, there is a no tolerance policy. Get your shit together as a taxi driver. Learn what it's like to be professional. Let me tell you something. I go to Singapore. I've been in London and New York, and even in New York, man, I got a taxi from was JFK. I didn't have any problems. London, no problems. In Singapore, the only problems I had in Singapore was people trying to cut the queue. But once I got into the taxi, the drivers all knew where to go. They knew the destination. They knew how to get there. They didn't jerk me around. One other thing that I would say that might alleviate the problem is to allow passengers to pay with some kind of a card, whether it's a credit card or like the Rabbit card that they have here, or make some kind of a card that is, for instance, the same card, I forget what it is for the MRT. I have one of them. The MRT card, the Rabbit card that you use, I think, for the BTS. I don't take them that much because they're not near my house, but they will be soon. This one, yeah, this is the MRT card. Make a card like this, or make one card for everything. This is the Rabbit card, right? Make one card for everything. They just scan the card. Boom, it comes in. Make an app. And one other suggestion. The Department of Transportation here in Thailand used to have a very good app where, well, it was a pretty good app. Didn't always work so well. But you could report people, or you could even make a positive comment about a driver. For some reason, it doesn't seem to be working anymore, and it's a pain in the neck to report a driver who does something that he shouldn't do, or they shouldn't do. I think it needs to be very, very easy for a tourist. Make sure get somebody here to make up an app that works in English, and it's very, very easy for some tourists. English, Chinese, Russian, whatever. Make it a multi-language app, and make it easy to report the person and also to pay through. You could do that. You could make it to where they could pay through the app, just like Grab. With Grab Taxi, they pick me up. I can put cash. I can put this credit card, that credit card. They're already in the system. Boom. It's done. It's paid. You want to pay with your card, you can do that. Or you have a preloaded card, like I said, like the MRT card, where you go into 7-Eleven, you throw on 1,000 baht, and then every time you ride in a taxi, you just pay that way. I think that would help also. These are just ideas off the top of my head because, the guy today, he probably didn't have any money. For whatever reason, I don't know, maybe he just started driving and he just didn't have any money for the change. And that's not really all that big of a deal, but it can be a pain in the neck to have to wait for some guy to get the change. and not every foreigner is going to have exact change for a taxi. So that's why I was saying the cards might be a good alternative. But, you know, I don't think he didn't do anything malicious to me or anything like that. And there are a lot of nice taxi drivers out there. But there are some out there who, they make it difficult for people. And not only foreigners. This is not a Thai versus foreigner issue. This is an issue of I believe the drivers feel, hey, we are underappreciated. We don't make enough money. And thus we're going to be as difficult as we want to be. But I think the truth is that they need to get their act together and provide a service that is at least professional, moderately professional. You know, you get into a taxi, at least you get hello sir or sawadee krap, and then when you tell them where to go, they say okay, no problem, or whatever. They just confirm it. I think they need to do that. And the other thing is, today when I got out, the guy, you know, he went and got the change, and then, you know, I had given him 103 baht because it was 43 baht. He had to give me 60 baht back. He hands me 40 baht. He goes, here, 40 baht. And I go, no, 60 baht. Oh, 60 baht. You know, like, I don't know if he just had a problem with math, or it was, or what it was, or, you know. But I think the truth is that when they're testing them to find out whether or not they know the city, and they're making sure that the drivers know the city in order to become a taxi driver, I think they also need to do a basic math test and pass it, you know. So anyway, I was just thinking about these things today, and I thought I'd do a video on it. So for now, that's all I got. Until next time, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Chok di leo jerkกันใหม่